Good afternoon, Jake and Lauren. It is great to see you again after the past couple of weeks. I hope everything is going well for you and the kids. I'm excited that we have began to engage in this financial planning process. Just to start, as far as what we have done so far, last time that we had met, we had gone through some of your goals and some questions that you have for me regarding your financial plan, as well as some inheritance that you have come into from Aunt Barbara, and then as well as helping both of your parents out with their financial situation also. The next step in the process is to go through some information today, so recommendations and some of the answers to some of the questions that you had asked me in the previous meeting. To start out, I'd like to go over the life insurance question that you had for me. You had asked me to calculate the amount of life insurance that you should have based on the human life value calculation. The human life value calculation is based on the amount of income that you are earning and that you're expected to earn until your retirement, and then it subtracts out the taxes that you're paying and then your personal consumption as well. So, Jake, for you, based on this calculation, it looks like you need about $923,000 of life insurance coverage today. I know you have a $150,000 whole life policy currently, but based on this calculation, we're going to need to add some coverage for you as well as for Lauren. Lauren, based on your human life value calculation, you need about $810,000 of coverage. Now, there's different types of life insurance coverage that we can look into. There's term insurance, which is pretty cheap for the dollar of coverage that you have, cheaper than the whole life that you have currently, Jake. But we may or may not want to do all term, or we might want to add some permanent as well. Jake, since you already have some permanent, we would maybe be able to just get away with term and hang on to the permanent policy that you do currently have. Lauren, for you, we would maybe want to look at doing a combination of a permanent plan and a term insurance as well. Since the kids are young, I wouldn't recommend a term policy under 20 years. I would recommend a 20 or a 30-year term policy, and that'll stay in effect until, Brooke's only 2 right now, so until she would be hopefully out of the house. Any questions on the life insurance as far as how we came up with the calculations or the process moving forward? As far as moving forward, the first thing we should do, then I recommend that we go ahead and do this today to get the process rolling, because sometimes it can take up to 4 to 6 weeks to complete the whole underwriting process. So where we start is we fill out an application, and then the insurance company will give us a rating based on your health and any background information on you. So once we have that rating, then we can figure out how much it's going to cost you for both term and permanent insurance. Then we can figure out if we want to go with a combination of term and permanent from there, or if we're better off just doing term or maybe just permanent. The premiums for these policies are going to come from some of my further recommendations here. You do have a positive net cash flow as it is now. But some of these other recommendations will probably help free up some more cash as well. So after we go through all these recommendations, we can see the cash that's available, and then we'll get the underwriting results back, and we can find a balance there between the permanent and the term life insurance policies for you. But I think this is one of the most important things that we should get started on right away. The next thing that I wanted to talk about today with you would be the different types of retirement plans for Jake's business. I know that was one of your concerns, is that you wanted to start saving more for retirement, as well as give your employees an option to save for retirement as well. You had asked me about simple IRAs and SEP IRAs and some of the differences. I would recommend the simple IRA for you, and I'll give you a few reasons why here coming up. So the simple IRA, your employees must earn at least $5,000 in up to the previous 2 years. So what that means is that you can set the eligibility requirements, and the max that you can do is have them make $5,000 in the previous 2 years. The SEP IRA is a little different. The eligibility is that they only need to earn $600 in 3 of the preceding 5 years. So most of your employees, I think this would either plan would work, since most of your employees are the college students that are only around for a couple of years. so they won't necessarily become eligible for either of these plans. You had also mentioned that you would like your incentive for the employees to save for their own retirement. That's where the Simple IRA comes in a little bit better than the SEP IRA. The Simple IRA will allow any employee to defer up to $12,500 into the plan as long as they're eligible. The SEP IRA is 100% employer contributions. So in the Simple IRA, you do have to do a match of 3%, or you can do a 2% non-elective contribution into their account. Typically, a lot of people will choose to do 3% because that will give the employees more incentive to save on their own as well. Now you can do less than 3% in 2 out of 5 years. So if you wanted to start out the first 2 years, you could do as low as a 1% match, and then in the third year you'd have to increase that up to a 3% match. But I think that's the main reason why I would choose the Simple IRA, is because that will incentivize your employees to be able to save on their own, where the SEP IRA is all employer contributions. The SEP IRA, you would also be required to contribute equal percentage for each eligible employee. So if you wanted to contribute a higher percentage to your own account, and the max is 25% that you can contribute, but say you want to contribute 20% to your account, you have to contribute 20% of each employee's salary to their account as well. So that could become fairly expensive for you if we decide to start saving bigger amounts of money on your own. Where the Simple IRA, you would just only be required to have that 3% match for the employees. So that is the reason I would probably choose the Simple IRA as far as a retirement plan for the business. And that's something that we can go ahead and get set up here for you as well. Set up a time to meet with you and any eligible employees. I can run through the paperwork and all the details with them moving forward. Any questions on the different type of retirement plans and why we would want to choose a Simple IRA? Great.